Right, let's get moving. Let's dive in. And intro is the first part. So if I scroll down, we have two intros. We have a simplified intro and we have the proper intro, the full recorded version. The simplified intro only differs because we haven't got a little stretch. With the simplified intro, we're playing the G string twice and then the B string 3rd fret once. So you have your finger 3rd fret on the B string and then you're playing the G string above twice and then 3rd fret on the B string. So that's a simplified intro. G string twice, 3rd fret on the B string, and that just repeats. But after the second time, you then leave a little gap. So for kind of G level 1s, maybe 2s, that'd be a good intro to have a go at. But for most other people, it'll be the second intro we want to look at. Now, the reason I simplified it because 3rd finger wants to be on fret 5 of the D string, and 1st finger fret 3 of the B string. Problem with that is we then have an open string in between 2 fingers, so it's super easy to mute that string with 3rd finger. So 3rd finger hangs down and touches the G string. So you've got to make sure you've got a good arch in that 3rd finger, so the open G string can ring out and it's not muted. So just watch out for that. It's that open G string that might get a little bit stuck. So be careful of that. Make sure 3rd finger's nice and arched. And it's the same kind of idea. You're just picking down D, G, B, D, G, B, little gap, D, G, B, D, G, B, little gap. So that's our little intro. You can see the only reason I simplified it, we were actually playing the same note. It is a G note on the D string, but I've just played it or written it, so you're playing the open G string twice rather than the G note on the D string. So it just takes away that need to arch the finger and you can say muting that G string potentially. So, simplified intro again, 2 G strings, 3rd fret on the B string, played twice, little gap. So we have that. And then if we look at the proper intro, we then bring that 3rd finger on the 5th fret of the D. Very similar sound, there's a slight change. The fretting note's always going to sound a little bit different than an open string. So that's all, guys. Not too crazy fast, you look at the speed, it's 104, so it's not like 2 minutes, one of Green Day's slower songs. So, how's that, guys? We're good with the intro? Now, that does come back in the song. That's the interlude later on in the track. Like I said earlier, there's only really 3 parts, but the parts do come back, and we are going to perhaps give them a different name just so we can tell them apart. Can't really call it the intro if it's in the middle of the song. Doesn't really make sense, but it is still the same thing. Okay, I'm just having a look through everyone's camera to see if there's smiles or people looking confused. But we're okay, so we might move on. Okay, so that's the intro. We shall move on. I'll email this out, guys, all the music later, so don't worry, you don't have to kind of remember all this stuff. I will send it out. So if I scroll down, we then have the verse. Now I am going to stop at a simplified verse because it's the same ingredients as the full verse, but without the kind of complexity. So we're going to talk chords, really. If you look at the start, it's the same little riff. Actually, let me scroll down a little bit more because the verse is a bit different. Look, the harder verse. It is kind of that riff, but it does change the note he plays on the D string. This is what you probably recognise from the song. So it's that part. So that's the harder version in the verse. So I will scroll down so you guys can start looking at more advanced students. The simplified version, I've just taken out that walking down the D string. So you're only looping the intro riff. Takes away the difficulty then of moving fingers, but still sounds pretty cool. And for the more advanced students, you can see you're changing the note on the D string. Starts at fret 5, goes to fret 4, goes to fret 2, then goes to 0. How are you going to accomplish that? I'd use 3rd finger on the D string. 2nd finger is then hovering above the 4th fret, so I can just go straight down. We have a problem here because then we've got to get to 2nd fret. There's no real way of doing that without contorting your fingers to quite an awkward shape. So you're going to have to change fingers. So 3rd finger perhaps will go to the B string fret 3. and first finger will go on the D string, fret 2. Yeah? So we've gone from first finger B3, second finger D4, to then third finger B3, and first finger D2. And the last bow, you just remove the first finger to do open string. So you're just walking down D string with that change, or fingering, so it kind of looks like a G chord, kind of a G, C-add 9 shape really. And then open. So loop that around, give that a go. Again, not too mean, but it is that little change from bar 2 to 3 that might get you. So there's the first line. Again, the low level students can just rock that intro riff. That'll sound great. More advanced students, then yeah, definitely that second version of the verse. So give that a few loops, have a bit of fun with that one. And then we'll talk about the chords. So it goes around that once, and then the chords come in. For the simplified version, it's just 3 string chords. So we've got the C chord, so we know that from June level 1. C minor is a new shape. It's a little diagonal shape. So your third finger is on the G5, second finger is on the B4, and first finger is on the E3. It's a little diagonal shape. So we've got our C minor jumping up the neck. And our G chord, all you got to do is take off fingers 2 and 3, and first finger is already where it should be for the G chord. And you play that twice. Again, these chords are the same regardless of what level or simplified version versus more advanced version. If you know C chord, if you know C minor bar chord, that'll work. I do have a way around the bar chords. He plays bar chords, but I do have a slightly harder version that doesn't use bar chords, but still sounds pretty cool. But this is obviously the easy version. So we've got C, C minor, and then the G, just removing fingers 2 and 3. So the low level students will be looping that C minor shape, so just try to get fingers in that diagonal little shape. That's a bit of a weird one, that one. Let me scroll down a little bit more. And we should, because I think Jasper, you couldn't see the last bar, so hopefully you can see it now, Jasper. And then we've got the chords for the more advanced version. So I'll try and keep the beginner version on there as well. So that's the top 2 lines. Then we have the slightly harder verse. And all I've done here is we're going to play a C chord at fret 5, like an A major chord. So we're holding down fret 5 on the D, fret 5 on the G, and fret 5 on the B. So hopefully most of you guys, again, looking around, we've seen the A chord. It's normally second fret on the D string, G string, and B string. We're just going to slide that shape up to fret 5. And that sounds quite cool. So we just fret 5 on the D, the G, and the B. To play the C minor and get away with without doing any bar chords, we're going to do then a minor shape at fret 5. So you just think A minor. So now we've got the 5th fret on the D, 5th fret on the G, 4th fret on the B. Again, I should say low level students, ignore what I'm saying here, just keep working on the top 2 lines, keep working on the simplified version. I will be sending out music so you can have a go at the harder version later if you want to. So that's the first 2 bars. So our C chord is the 5th fret on the D, G, B, D, G, B, then 5th fret, D, G, 4th fret on the B. And all I've done there is lifted up 3rd and 2nd finger, or 2nd and 3rd, 1 string, and then 1st finger goes on the B string. Just an A minor shape. So slightly different way, perhaps, of you playing our major and minor chords. Again, you could use bar chord. I'm going to look at that in just a second for the more advanced students. So there's 3 ways of playing this verse. And then beyond that, we then go back to the intro riff. So that line sounds like this. You've got your C chord, C minor, then back to our intro riff. Again, we've got our C, 3 5s, then our 5 5 4th, the C minor, then 5, 0, 3, the intro riff. And that's the second line of the verse. So if I put the verse together now so you can hear it all, back to that first position kind of intro riff. 4th fret. Second, so that little change of fingering. Open D. Up to fret 5. 5, 5, 4 for the minor. And then the intro riff again. And don't worry guys, we'll pause here for a little while, camp out on this for a few minutes, let everyone have a go at it, because there's a lot there to kind of digest. And I'll go around it a few more times. I did have something else to say then. I noticed a shortcut. Where did I see that? Oh yeah. So as you're going from the first line, you've got your D, G, 3rd fret on the B string. To get to 5th fret, to play the C chord, your 3rd finger is already on the correct string. You just got to slide it up and put the other 2 fingers above it. So you've got a nice little marker there. So just slide up, fingers 1 and 2 above, and you're then in your A major shape. Get rid of that. And then to your minor. You've probably already seen the repeat at the end, so then you're back to the start of the verse, and so you're playing the verse twice. We have got this second time ending, which means on the second time through, we don't play what's written in bar 1, or the bar with the bracket above it that says 1. We replace it with number 2. So we go this bar, this bar, this bar, this bar, this one, this one, this one, and then jump to this end bar. And there's just a little bit of a change there. It brings in the 4th fret on the D string, which we'll talk about in just a sec. But one more time for the verse. So 5, 0, 3, 5, 0, 3. Then the 4, 0, 3, 4, 0, 3. Then you're switching 2, 0, 3. Sliding up 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 4. And then back to our intro chord. So that'll then be the verse loop. I'm obviously really just talking in a minute about the harder version. Still keep rocking the beginner version. If you do not know these chord shapes, you find it a bit tricky. And that will just sound like this. You're doing that 4 times. And you slide back your finger into the 1st fret of the C chord, up for your diagonal shape, C minor, off your fingers 2 and 3. We have our G chord, and you're going to play that twice. And we just go back around, lift up your finger. Again, 4 times round. C, C minor, and G. So that's what the simplified version sounds like. It sounds pretty good, so it'll still sound pretty cool playing the song with that simplified version. Okay, how's it all getting on with the more trickier, I've not even got to the hard version yet, so more trickier verse section. So again, remember, keep that arch and that 3rd finger down with the 2nd, swapping, so you're going to basically a C add 9 shape, picking from the D string now, open D string, slide up, 3rd finger up to fret 5, fingers 1 and 2 above, and fingers 1 and 2 jump up. Finger 1 goes down to the B string fret 4 for your C minor, and back to intro shape. So as you're going to go, I'll play along then. I'll play through it and see, yeah. So you can hear how it goes, you can try and play along as well. So 5th fret on the D string, 2, 3, 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, 4 fret. 2nd fret, so we're shifting. D. Okay, we're going to slide up to the fret 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, swap, 5, 5, 4, and back to our intro shape. And it just goes back around. Stick on there, then 4th fret, 2nd, open D, sliding up to the 5, 5, 5, the minor chord, then the intro shape again. And now's that 2nd bracket on the end there, just so you can hear it, and we'll go through that in just a moment. And there we go. So there's the verse. Let's go through that second bracket then. And if you look at it, it starts exactly the same. We've got the 5-0-3. It then brings in an open G string and then goes 4-0-3. So we've got this 5-0-3-0, 4-0-3-0. 5-0-3-0, 4-0-3-0. So I'm still using my second finger for fret 4. For the simplified version, we do not need to do that. We can just do the normal. That'll sound fine. So again, you can ignore this bar if you are low-level students. Just keep going on those first top 2 lines. So if I put together that last line then of the verse with the second bracket, we have the 2 5. So let's see. Then C minor, intro, little riff, second bar. And then that leads us then into the chorus. Okay, so that's our verse then, guys. So again, pick whichever version you are happiest with, which is more obviously to your level of ability, level of playing. So either that simplified version, 4 times around, and then back to C chord, C minor, stretchy, G, or obviously the more tricky version. Okay, so should we have a little look then at the very hard version? So let me show you if I can squeeze them all on the same. And all I've done here, because the first line is actually the same, it's a bar chord version. So those high level students that do know their bar chords, this is for you. Now this is very high level students, this is senior level kind of 4, maybe 3 if you've kind of tackled bar chords on your own. But for everyone else, again, just keep going through your simplified version or the intermediate version. This is just for the high level students. So if you don't know what bar chord is, ignore me. Just keep going over the part that you were playing a moment ago. This only replaces the chords though. We're still going to keep the first line, the little melody, the kind of the arpeggiated riff. That stays the same regardless if you do the bar chords. But then the bar chords, we have our C major bar chord, C minor, and then G major chord. So we just want to watch out for that. So bar chords. Again, if you don't know them, I'm not going to go through them too much because this is for people that know them. But it's your C major. And looking at what he's doing, he's picking the A and the D string, then strumming G and B, and then picking the G. If you look at the next bar, it's the same picking as well. So once you crack that, A, D, strum, then G, A, D, strum, G, that's what he does. And I would say don't worry too much about the picking, so I don't think I pick it this way since I've ever learned this song. This is exactly what he does, but as long as you get in the same kind of ballpark, then it doesn't really matter. So don't stress out too much if you're not doing exactly the same picking pattern. Just try and get the essence of what he's doing, which is picking and strumming it. And you'll still get the sound, it'll still sound pretty good. So you've got the C major, we're then going to our C minor bar chord, and then just to a G chord. 2 bars of the G chord at the end. Now we have a second bracket again, and in this one we're doing a D/F sharp, but we could play that just doing that. 2nd fret on the E string. So you do your 3rd fret on the E string, 2nd fret on the E string. A G/F sharp, you normally have your 1st finger on the G string fret 2, so it'd be like that. But I've just made it a bit easier, so taken out. So it's really just a G with the F sharp in it. Okay, so there the bar chords again. Don't want to spend loads of time on that. If you can do it, fantastic. If you can't, there's no need to obviously struggle over it today. And we'll kind of move on. But is there anything else I want to say about the verse? I don't think so. I think that's kind of it. We still may be struggling with the speed of it, with some of the changes. That's fine. Again, you may need to take this away and work on this for a little bit of time. That's normal, so don't worry about that. Let's go through the verse then, and then play whichever verse you're happy with, be it the simplified version at the top 2 lines, the more intermediate version, these kind of 2 lines here, or the bar chord version where you just put in the bar chords on this last or second line of the verse. So go for whichever one you're happy with, and let's give it a go. So you ready? So again, I've got the simplified version where you're just playing that 4 times and then your 3-string chords, or the main riff, which you'll be playing regardless if you're playing the bar chords, but then the bar chords come in for the chords. And now if you're kind of in between the bar chord playing and the intermediate version, you could just strum the bar chords rather than picking them. So you could just strum your C major bar chord if you wanted to practice bar chords, but get rid of the complexity of the right hand picking and then just strum your G chord. That would sound good too. So again, there's loads of ways we could approach this. So let's give it a go. And I'll let you guys decide which one you want to approach. So here we go. 2, 3, 4. So again, whichever one you're happiest with. 4th fret. Okay, we come to the chords now. C chord. I'm just going to do the easy version. Then C minor. And G, here we go. Dun, 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 G. Dun, dun, dun. We'll go back around to verse. 4th fret. 2nd. Dun, 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 0. Now I'll do the bar chords. C. C minor. Go into 2nd brackets, the 2nd time through, and just put in that 2nd fret on the E string in there. That's all that changes that. And there's the verse. So we have intro now, we have verse. We're doing okay. So we're going to the chorus left. Let's perhaps just hear how that fits together. Might be quite good if I put on the song. Chords, C minor, back to that first little chord, or just that first little riff, C chord strum, C minor, that would be when we then go to the next section. Cracky lead as well. Right, so there it is, guys. So just one strum the chords, you find the chord changing speed difficult, and just slowly building it up. I just wanted you to hear how it kind of fits together, where we are in the song so far. And there we have it. So we'll have a little look at the chorus. We shall move on. Again, it's throws the question. I can't hear it. Did anyone else hear the music then? Because that should have been coming through the microphone, as my vocal does. So you should have been able to hear that. No, I didn't. That's just, if you can hear me speaking, you should be able to hear the music. Yeah. Okay. So let's move on. Doop-a-doop-doo. Chorus. And again, I simplified it. I've got the easy, the beginner version. I've got the intermediate. I've got the advanced version. So the advanced version is mainly just basically means bar chords. So it's a bar chord version. And I've done some interesting stuff with the kind of the B minors and things in the intermediate version. So let's go for it. Again, we'll start with a simplified version. And a lot of these chords are just from level 1, you know, junior level 1. We've got the E minor, no fingers. You could do the 2-finger E minor if you know that one. Then B minor, same shape as a C minor we did in the verse actually, just 1 fret backwards. So a 2nd fret on the E string, 3rd fret the B string, 4th fret the G string. Then our C chord, then 1 finger, and then G chord 1 finger. So all level 1 chords, except for the big bad B minor. That's not a level 1 chord. But just little diagonal shape, give that a few goes. It does pop up in quite a few pop songs actually, so it's a good one to know. And then we do have right at the end a D chord, which is a June level 2 chord. If that's a bit troublesome, you could just do a D string. So just open D. That would work. So you could just do an open D string rather than a D chord. If you don't know that shape and you don't want to, you know, spend the next few minutes really trying to get it under your fingers, that would work well. So simplified chord version is just E minor, diagonal shape, then C chord, and then G. So that's it. It's E minor, B minor again, same chords regardless of what version you're doing. Just swap them out for the harder shapes. C, then G, so the whole bar of each. And that's it. And then just open D string for your D chord, or you can have a go at that shape. They're all written at the top of the page if you want to see them. I have put the fingers underneath, but it's probably a bit too small to really see that. But again, I'll email that out later. I'm going to go quickly then at the intermediate chorus. It's just arpeggiated. So rather than strumming, we've got a bit of picking going on. Again, you could just strum it if it's a bit tricky with the right hand, that's fine. But the picking is E, G, B, G, E, G, B, G, sorry, let's get the right letters. E, G, B, G, E, B, G. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So the rhythm, he just has a little bit of a pause after this beat here, because there's a quarter note there, or crotchet. So we're going 1 and 2 and 3 and on the 3 and, there's a little bit of a break. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. There's a little bit of a gap there. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Then the B minor. So rather than doing a bar chord B minor, we can play 2nd fret on the A string, 2nd fret on the high E. So that's quite a nice alternative way of doing a B minor bar chord. Rhythm's the same. Picking's obviously changed a little bit. So now on the 5th string. So it's now A, B, E, B, A, E, B. And again, I'll keep saying it, but as I'm going for this more advanced version, if you are a low-level student, just keep working on the top line. Don't worry about what I'm saying. Just go through, the simplified section. Don't, try the really hard stuff. So is that okay, guys? So we've got that little B minor, 2nd fret on the A string, 2nd fret on the high E, and then just a C chord, open C. Same picking as the B minor chord. Yeah, so same picking. And then G chord right at the end. And he's got that 2nd fret on the E string again, like we had at the end of the verse. And that then loops back around the chorus. So you've got the E minor, B minor, C, G. Now with the G chord, we've got the open B string, so you could just have one finger on the low E. You don't have to have the full G chord shape. So that'll make that a little bit easier. And again, I'm going to just leave this on the screen for a little while. We'll loop this around a fair few times. So first time through the chorus is how I just played that. E minor, B, C, G. And then second time we got the E minor, B minor, C, D. Second time does the D instead of the G. Again, if you want to skip the picking for the minute, just strum open chords. It's probably the best thing to do anyway. Again, it's just more for the advanced students. C, and G. But again, for those that do want more of a challenge, we do have a bar chord version. E minor is still going to be open though. B minor though is the bar shape. C is the bar shape. G. And I have put the D/F sharp in there because he does actually do that. So the D/F sharp is a D chord, but you're not playing the top E string. So your second finger goes where first finger is on the G2, and your first finger goes on the low E2. It's probably the best way of doing it, D/F sharp. Obviously didn't check my lead either today. So that is the one to watch out for, the D/F sharp. So we're going G, D/F sharp. So going through a G to D/F sharp, all you got to do is drop your second finger down to the G string, fret 2, first finger goes on the E string, fret 2. Again, for those who want more of a challenge, or just do the second fret on the E string, as written above. So we have the E minor, B minor, C, G, D slash F sharp. You can even hook thumb over top for the D slash F sharp if you've got long thumb. And on the repeat, the second bracket is a D bar chord. So 5th fret, D chord. You could do an open D really, if you wanted to. Again, there's so many ways you could do this. Just change out the chords. If you're not happy with bar chords, do open chords. If you're not happy with the 3-finger open chords, do 1-finger open chords or do an open string. So adapt, overcome the challenges in the song, and just make it, you know, as easy as you need to. And then as you progress through it, you just bring in the challenges and you start working through the harder sections. Okie dokie. Let's go through each one in turn then. So simplified chorus again. We have the E minor, no fingers, and then B minor diagonal shape, C chord, G chord, you're looping C minor, 2, 3, 4, B minor, 2, 3, 4 for C. Second bracket for your D, which could be an open D string, or it could be the D shape that's written. Either one, so you can pick which one you want to do there. For the intermediate version, we then have the open chords, so the E minor with a bit of picking. We have the B minor, we have the C, G, again this one, you could just strum the chords and find a bit tricky with the picking. Just like that. And second time through, you have that D chord to strum. Then the bar chords, we have B minor, B minor, more strummy, C, G, D slash F sharp, minor, B minor, C, D, just sliding that shape up. And that's the chorus. So again, I know I keep saying it, but yeah, just take whichever one you want and just play around with it. Make it suitable for, you know, what you know, basically. Okay, we're doing well with time. So that's the chorus. We've now done all 3 parts. That's it. So recap, we have then the intro. Then we have the verse, which is built on top of that. Walking back. C, again, how are you playing that? C minor, G, and that's in loops. And it goes into that second bracket for the second fret, and then the newest part obviously being the chorus. So E minor, B minor, C, G. Second time through, D instead of G, and that's it. So the only 3 sections. So we will start trying to put this together, but just keep going through each. Obviously, every section causes the most trouble, and because I want to explain the structure a little bit. But let's just hear the chorus before we get too carried away. When September ends. So E minor is going to come in. So here's E minor, I'm just going to do 1 strum. B minor, C, G, E minor, as it goes. B minor, C chord, D chord, so open D string, and then we go back to our verse. I can't stop the song. And there we go, around we go. So let's try and piece this together a little bit. Let me scrolly back, and let's give this a go. So I'll just leave it on these colored pages. I don't think we need the intro page because it's already on this page. You know, it's part of the verse. So I'll leave it on that one. I'll scroll down to the chorus when we get there. Again, give it a go. If you need to drop out a bar here and there, do that. you know, do maybe every other bar if you find the chord changes a bit quick. Again, do whatever you need to get through the song. That is fine. But let's give it a go. Let's scroll back. I'm really annoyed because I had other things set up for the computer which I can't use. So I can't slow it down. But we'll give it a go. We shall endure. So we're going to go with the intro.
Summer's come and past, the innocent can never.
Okay, C chord,
Wake me up
minor,
when September ends.
going back to that little intro part. So
Like
second
my
verse.
father's come to pass, serpent has come.
C chords coming. C chords,
Wake me up
C minor,
when September ends.
scrolly, scrolly, and now we've got the minor.
Here comes
C minor,
the rain again,
C,
falling
G,
from the stars,
E minor,
drenched
B
in
minor. See, I'm just strumming one strum. C, D, then go back to the verse again.
as my memory rests, but never forgets what
C chord,
wake me
C
up
minor,
when September
G.
ends.
Now it just loops around the intro. So a little intro riff. And we go back to the verse in a second. A few seconds. Here we go, here's the verse. Second. Very good. Rocking it out. C chord, C minor, and G. Back around the verse. So C chord, minor, G. Then we go into chorus. Slowly, slowly, C minor, C minor, C, G, minor, minor, C, G. Back to the verse. Then chords C, minor, G. Then go back to the chorus again for the guitar solo. E minor, minor, C, G, minor, minor, C, and D, and it stays on D for bars. And back up we go, just around that intro riff. And into the verse.
Summer's come and past, the innocent can never last.
C chord, minor, little diagonal shape, G, so one finger. Back around, verse.
It's come to pass, 20 years has gone to
Okay, C chord, minor, G. Now it goes back to the C chord again. It repeats that second line of the verse. So C, minor, G. Does it again. So C chord, minor, and G. And that's how it ends. So at kind of minute, I think it's 4 minutes in, it then just loops around this line here of the chords a couple of extra times to finish off the song. And see, it's just those couple of sections, it's the verse and the chorus. So they are a little bit tricky, but a little bit of time this week and you'll crack that, and then you've got the song. So it's just the verse and the chorus. It's just getting those under your fingers. What else? Something else I was going to say then, I forgot what it was. What was I going to say? Damn it. Yeah, and again, more advanced students can have some fun with this. In the chorus, or in the verse, when he puts on the distortion, you could then use power chords instead of your normal chords. So if you know your power chords, you could do a C5. And G5, that makes it a bit more rocking. Back to that again. Any power chords. So that sounds quite good. Again, if you want to go to that next level and bring some effects into it, that will sound quite good with the distortion. And that's really the next place to go. So, should we go around one more time? And give it a whirl. I keep pausing, so I wonder if I have enough time to quickly download it and try and slow it down, but I think I'm going to waste time doing that. So let's just go through it full speed. This bit of point, I normally would slow it down, would build it up. Again, we've had a few technical troubles, so that won't work today. But never mind, it's all good. I'll press play and we'll just go through it. So don't worry about keeping up. Use this mainly as just a way of getting the structure. Again, more advanced students will probably be okay to keep up. But for those lower, don't worry. I would normally slow it down. Okay, let's give it a go. Let's play it in the right place though. Hold on a minute. Did that play then? Technology's trying to confuse me. My computer is now working my phone. So I thought it was coming through my earphones, but it wasn't. It was still coming through the amp, but my computer was controlling it. Oh, Apple, why'd you do this to me? Okay, so I thought it was fixed by itself. No? Okay. Sorry, I'm having a meltdown now. Okay, here we go. So starting off with that little riff.
The innocent can never last. Wake me up when September ends.
So we go for a riff. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 again. Dun 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 dun. C.
Wake me up
and C minor. G. Then we go into the chorus. So there's our E minor chord, D minor, C, G, then you hit the repeat, you're back to the E minor, B minor, C, jump into the D, and back to the verse. Here's our riff. Dun 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 dun. C chord. Wake me up, C minor, when September G. And now it's going back to the first part of the verse, just this first line. This is what I was saying, this is kind of like the interlude section. It's just the intro riff. And it'll go into the verse in a second. Electric guitar comes in, here we go, verse starts. Out stops. C, C minor. Back for thinking 1, 2, 3, 4. Then C chord, C minor, G, chorus, E minor, go, and B minor, C, G. B minor, B minor, C, D chord, back to intro. Second fret, 0, C plus the chorus, B minor, C, G, B minor, B minor, C, D chord, 2, 3 again, 2, 2 again, 3, 2, 4, 2, back to the intro riff. Going into the verse.
Summer has come
Dun, 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 dun. C. Oh, sorry, still in the first line. I've got to repeat. C. C minor. G. Riff. Or we could say here. 4, 3, 6, 3. 2, 0, 3, 2, 0, 3, 0, 0, 3, 0, 0, 3, then 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, second bracket, and we loop back to the chords, C, C minor, G, C again, C minor, and G. You can end picking, or you can end with just a single strum of the G chord there. So one thing I didn't actually say about the chorus, if you're strumming the chords, obviously that's a bit of an awkward chord to strum, the intermediate version, B minor. It kind of works, but it sounds a little bit messy. So you could do the simplified B minor, but if you lift up your third finger to the D string and put your pinky on the G string, that's a slightly fuller B minor. So that sounds quite nice. So if you wanted to strum something, but you wanted something a little bit more weighty than just a 3-string B minor, that's quite a nice way of doing it. So just bringing up the third finger to the D string, fret 4, and then pinky on the G string, fret 4. For those no bar chords, you could even do like a bar chord B minor, but lift off your first finger so you're not buying the top E string. And just strum the A, D, G, B, that works quite well too. So there's a few ways of doing that if you want more of a strummier shape. There's a couple of alternatives there. I'll put those on the sheet though, and email that later so you can play around some of those chords. Right guys, there we go. So again, sorry about the technical troubles. I kind of forgot I had a new computer and it wasn't all loaded, because I couldn't put the guitar how I'd normally used it earlier. And obviously, yeah, I don't know why that wasn't working, so it looked like that was routed correctly, but I have to play around that later. So yeah, apologies about that.